Hi, I'm Jerry Carter with the Crest Business Law Group, and I like to use our blog to answer questions that we get from some clients. Today I want to discuss a question that sometimes isn't asked but should be asked. And that question is, what are the dangers of focusing too much on price when I'm in a business legal transaction? And what caught my eye the other day reading the newspaper was an article about today's COVID world and some of the difficulties the European Union is having in vaccinating its population. The article says there's an acute shortage of doses and it's keeping the EU's vaccination effort from taking off, making it likely that only a small portion of the general public will get a shot by the end of the summer. From my reading of the article, the main reason things went off the rails for the EU is they focused exclusively, or at least too heavily, on price. The European Union Commission has a reputation, a well-earned reputation of just being bare-knuckle negotiators, dragging the negotiations on in trade deals and what have you, and hammering away to get a great price. And so when the time came for them to go to pharmaceutical companies and buy vaccination doses ahead of time, I mean, they had to buy these things before they actually existed, they negotiated based on price. And what this did was it delayed the talks and delayed the European Union from getting in line in time to get the doses, whereas some of the other countries gave a higher price per dose and got in the queue earlier. So the other thing the European Union did is that as part of its price strategy, it bought doses from some of the reputable manufacturers of pharmaceutical vaccines. It also went to some untested pharmaceutical companies that specifically did not have a manufacturing partner or well-tested technology. And so basically they went looking around for a cheaper deal and overlooked the possibility that they were doing a deal with someone who couldn't deliver, couldn't get them over the finish line. And so the result of all this is interesting because, as the article says, the European Union did in fact achieve its objective. It got a lower price per dose than both the United States and the European Union. The trouble is it got in line too late, and now the manufacturers are having some manufacturing hiccups. Well, guess who they send their doses to first? The people who are first in line. And so the delay costs them. In addition, I mean, it's not said in the article, but if you think about it, who are the manufacturers going to work harder for? The ones who are paying them more per dose or the ones who are paying them less per dose? And so it's just kind of working out that way. And then of course, the unproven people that the EU went with, turns out they couldn't deliver. They didn't have the manufacturing partner, they didn't have the tested technology. And so the long and short of it is that even though they got the best price, it turned out to be short-sighted. And the article says this because they overlooked the price of all the lockdowns that they're incurring. Now, how does this all relate to business legal negotiations? Well, say your company is involved in a lawsuit or a disputed claim. Well, being in a lawsuit is a lot like being in COVID lockdown. It drains the resources of the company, it focuses the attention of the company away from its central purpose. And so I think you would agree it would be foolish to go into negotiations to resolve the lawsuit thinking just about the price of the deal and ignoring the costs of delay. So that's one thing. Another way that this can apply in your business legal dealings is sometimes people look for an attorney who they perceive as being less expensive. And I'll just say right now, our office is more on the expensive side. But sometimes people will look for an attorney who they perceive as being less expensive, but it turns out that the attorney doesn't have the goods. Like the pharmaceutical companies the EU dealt with that didn't have a manufacturing partner or that didn't have proven technology. If you hire a professional based only on price, and ignore all the other factors such as can that professional deliver, you're selling yourself short. And so those are two things to think about in terms of price not being everything. So thank you for letting me rant and comment on this. Hope it's been valuable to think about. Here at the Sierra Crest Business Law Group, we love to answer your interesting questions. And if you have any questions about how to factor price into negotiations along with other considerations that are important for you, we're certainly happy to have that conversation with you and help to orient you, to show you where you are on the map and where you're going to need to go to get to where you want to be. And price is part of that, but there are a lot of other factors. Just like if you're hiking in the mountains, you got to consider where the trail is, but you also have to consider the elevation, you got to consider the terrain. We'll help you do that. You can give us a call at 775-448-6070. Again, 775-448-6070. Thanks.